what are we doing here?
2 ounces cream cheese, 2 sticks of butter, 1 1/4 cup of sugar, whipping the shit for what will be orange sugar cookies.
And these orange sugar cookies
will go for dessert.
What are we doing for our entree?
Spiced pork chops. They are going with Chinese spice. Got coriander, cardamom, garlic powder, onion powder, coarse sea salt, spiced, rubbed, marinating in the fridge.
What do we got going on here?
So first I am cutting up the stem because I cook it. I don't throw it away. I will season them up and put them in the oven and start them cooking before I do anything else. Over here is a spiced coconut oil. It has the same already mentioned spices in there. It was just heated a little bit so it could infuse before cooking, just to kind of reinforce the flavors I'm doing.
Yes. And all these flavors are going to be going with the Loremaster. Scale and Feather's Loremaster. Look at that. That awesome Dungeons and Dragons theme going on there. But no adventure is complete without a Loremaster. Roll the dice on this delicious carbonated session mead with crafted orange blossom honey, orange zest, coriander, and hops. Created in honor of our gaming partnership with Fitz. Fitz's D&D night. Let's roll for initiative. And Fitz is a DJ for the rock station here in Phoenix, KUPD 97.9. Definitely enjoy listening to him in the afternoons. So apparently they have a partnership. They did a whole live D&D session at their meadery. And now we're juicing an orange into that concoction. And what's the juice gonna do?
Add more natural flavor because I'm not using any extract.
No extracts around here, folks.
That's a lie. Sometimes I use extract. Not very often.
That's a lie. Sometimes we use extracts, but not very often. Out come the broccoli stems. Now the rest of the broccoli going on there.
Yes.
Alright. You know, for this one, Mom, I think we just do the review and eat dinner at the same time.
Scrape the sides real quick. I want to back that up a little bit. I want to slowly add in the egg and flavoring and... Alright. Let's give the sides a scrape and then give it another mix up right quick.
Use what?
Like, I feel like I use like a lot of like southern old lady-ish terms when I start like baking.
Yeah.
Alright. So, the one thing I will note is look at how like frothy and like whipped that is. That butter was whipped. I didn't play with it. I whipped it. I beat that shit. No games.
Beat it like it owed you money?
Yeah, I did. Pulling out the pork chops that have been marinating, sitting here in their deliciousness for about, what, 20 minutes or so?
I'd say about that. Yeah.
So.
Delicious.
There's that.
Rusty pork chops. Oiling up the coconut oil in the pan. Coconut oil.
Yeah.
Orange half, orange half.
Alright.
Alright. Pull the broccoli out of the oven. Broccoli is looking all crisp. smelling fresh and delicious. I love how bright and green and vibrant it stays after coming out of the oven. Over here, we finally pulled the pork chops out of the oven.
Out of the fridge.
Pull them out of the fridge, put them onto the stove.
They were also coated with about 2 capfuls of apple cider vinegar before they were put into the pan. Just for that little bit of zip, which I am absolutely obsessed with, and help tenderize, which is never a bad thing.
And then we also chopped up some cilantro and I believe some olive oil.
So again, it's the coconut oil that has already been spiced with the same exact thing that I was put on the pork.
Gotcha.
Just to, again, reinforce that flavor profile. Butter, all the eggs have been whipped in, which if you are doing a recipe with more than 1 eggs, 1 at a time. Add them in 1 at a time.
Always add your eggs 1 at a time if you got to add multiple eggs. Now we're adding in, I believe that's flour.
The flour, the baking powder, baking soda.
All your dry ingredients, or a lot of your dry ingredients, other than the sugar, which we know is already in there.
Yeah, you whip that with the butter, and you add that in increments as well. Because you don't want to lose that airiness that you put into it.
Right, trying to maintain that fluffiness and try to over mix it.
Yeah.
We beat the shit out of the eggs and the sugar earlier. Now we're trying to be all soft and gentle with it.
Yeah.
Be nice to it.
Scrape on the sides and give it a couple more pulses. Yeah. I love
That is some doughy dough. We like our dough like we like our women thick.
Boys! Come here.
That beautiful wife.
Alright.
Flicking water on me.
Alright. And now I'm going to put this in the fridge to chill for, it should be an hour, but I'm impatient, so 20 minutes?
Copy that. Back to a little on the pork front. Definitely starting to get some color on the bottom sides of those. Nice brown. Ooh, look at that steer.
Alright. All that going right there. Cover a little bit more coconut oil.
Into the oven it goes. Boom!
And no, I do not make it a point to pull everything off the stem. I use the stems. I use it all. It's all delicious. It all serves a purpose. I don't throw it away. All of these stems here will go into a cup of water on my kitchen counter and continue to grow. The rest of this orange also will not go to waste when the pork comes out of the oven. This little bit of juice left in here will go on top of the pork just to kind of, because it is in the drink, so why not just throw it all in there.
Alright, so now here we got pork coming out the oven. Pulling that over, putting it on the old cutting board, looks like you got there, Mama.
Yep, it has been covered, well, drizzled with some orange juice and covered in cilantro. And understand, I expect nobody to use the same amount of cilantro as I do. We are fucking freaks and we have issues.
Yes, I concur 100% with that, as a matter of fact. But I do encourage you to use as much cilantro as we do, because it is in fact amazing. Unless you're one of those people who has that unfortunate gene where it makes cilantro taste like soap, yeah. God, I feel horrid for you. I mean, it's like one of those things where you don't know what you're missing. Like, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I never really had crab or lobster or anything like that. People tell me all the time, oh, you don't know what you're missing. Well, you're exactly right. I don't know what I'm missing, so I don't miss it. But, yeah, I definitely feel terrible for people who cannot eat cilantro, or who choose to not eat cilantro because of the way it tastes, rather. And if you have some sort of actual cilantro allergy, holy cow, my heart really bleeds for you then. That's like straight up torture. All right. Oh yeah, that's delicious.
Let these rest for a couple minutes.
Resting.
I'll slice them, and we're gonna get ready to plate and scoop up some cookies.
And scoop out some cookies to go in the oven. Mrs. Snowflake.
They love us to death.
Yes, they will be the death of us. That's what you're trying to say. One more shot of Snowflake Cat right in the face. Hey, Snowflake.
Alright. One plate. 2 plates.
So here we are at the table.
Food
Lauren's
plate.
delicious meal here with the pork and the seasonings and the flavors and everything. What am I getting ready to dig in here? I haven't even got to the star of the show yet. I'm getting all antsy about this delicious food. So again, this is the Loremaster, an orange blossom, crafted with orange blossom honey, orange zest, coriander, and hops. Again, this was created in a partnership with Fitz from KUPD here in Phoenix 97.9. It's the rock station. He had partnered up with the D&D crew there at Scale Feather Meadery, and they came up with this wonderful libation. Ladies first, I apologize. Look at that, almost water clear. That is not nearly as sparkling as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting it to be quite bubbly.
No, I was nervous.
Huh?
I was nervous.
You were nervous?
I don't like bubbly things.
So there's definitely a lot of tiny little bubbles in there. So it's definitely, I would call it like a, what do you call that? Like lightly sparkling, petulant. My French is terrible. Please don't judge me on that.
Looks like apple cider.
Yeah, definitely. Tiny little bunch of little bubbles like apple cider. Ooh, definitely get a citrusy note from the nose, man. It smells.
You smell it more than you taste it.
The citrus?
And again, like I said when I was cooking, it has that like, what's that the word that nobody can pronounce?
Pith?
It tastes like it has that in it.
Mm. I'm trying to see if I can smell some hops in there.
You taste it.
Well, the hops is gonna have a
You
citrusy
taste
type
it.
of smell to it as well, so it's very citrusy. I'll give it that. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely get like a fresh
More
hop
hops.
taste.
You taste more hops than you do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you get kind of this like generic citrus. See, and I'm not a fan of the session meads, you know, so it definitely doesn't have a bunch of kick to it, but it's pretty decent tasting for what it is. I'll give it that. It's got a, like I said, like a light citrusy note to it. Yeah, let's get a piece of pork we can pair up with that. So it pairs really nice with the cilantro. I like that. Adds another brightness to it, another level of citrus. Definitely sparkles with the pork. I like the fizziness of it with the pork, and I think that's good. Get some of that, some rice and
It brings out
broccoli.
the herb, the spice of it. I think a little bit as well. Yeah.
It's got that. This is like the second orange one that we've had that had that.
The same thing.
That kind of peculiar. It's probably the orange blossom honey. Maybe we're just not a fan of orange blossom honey.
We need to get more traditional.
An orange blossom honey traditional and see how that's done.
I think it's the pith, because I know I've watched people zest an orange, and they always, because you want to put pressure You're not grating cheese. You're just trying to get that very outer layer. Because that once you start getting into that white and that's what it tastes like to me. I think I definitely did pretty damn good with that spice profile.
Yeah.
That I chose.
Yeah, it pairs very well with the flavor profile. Again, it's got orange blossom honey, orange zest, coriander, and hops. Now, the coriander, you know, when everything takes on a different profile when it ferments. You know, the taco meat from KUPD Meadery had coriander in it as well. And I think that might be what I think that might be what adds that metallic-y, slightly metallic-y note to the smell. Because as this warms up a little bit, I do get just a hint of a, you know, I want to say like a coppery type of smell.
So just while we're at it, just cookie
time,
orange cookie with it. Let's see how that goes.
And so that works really well. That like zests up that cookie, and that plays really well because it adds a little bit extra sweetness to the mead. And I think that sweetness brings up a certain different flavor profile that's not as present in the dry. In the, well, I guess it is more like a semi, more of a off dry. It doesn't say on there whether it's dry or not, but I'm assuming it's an off dry or dry leaning, yeah. But the added sugar for me kicks it up another, yeah, kicks it up another level. I'm hungry, y'all. Watching her cook and not being able to eat it is terrible. All right, all done with that score sheet. This is wonderful. We're gonna give that guy a 34. Just it hits all the style marks and everything. I can't degrade it a whole lot because I don't like it when it meets. You know, it does what it's supposed to do. It's got a hoppy flavor to it. While I don't, you know, care for the session stuff with the low ABV. It's not my favorite. It gets the job done for what it is, you know. So it's not my flavor profile favorite. It's not my style favorite. But you know, it's wildly popular. And if you're into that type of thing, I suggest picking up a can or two the next time you're in Phoenix. They might be out of it soon here, if not already. Some of their places where they sell it here, I'm sure might have some. But I think it's going to be a regular thing that they do. So if you don't see it now, pick it up in the future. So thank you to those folks over there at Scale Feather and over there at KUPD for teaming up and making this interesting concoction. Again, not my personal favorite, but it hits all the notes. It's exactly what it says it is. You get the orange blossom honey flavor, you get the hops, you get the light carbonation, you get the low ABV on there. What else could you ask for other than what the can says it's going to be?
Yeah.
So
there you go.
There
Hope
you
you
go.
enjoyed the
Hope you enjoyed that too.
watching me bumble around the kitchen.
I did enjoy watching her bumble around the kitchen. I enjoyed her delicious broccoli with rice and crusted pork and the cookies,
Which are like airy.
oh, fluffy, like heavenly little clouds. It's like a little orange flavored cloud.
Which if you want them to be really pretty, you can roll them into a ball and then put them down and they end up looking kind of macaroonish.
Yes, they definitely do look macaroonish. I will go with that.
I've done these in many flavor. I'm sure you will see that recipe again. He wants them in cilantro again, which is something I had done. Cilantro cookies with lime frosting.
Those cilantro cookies were the business. If y'all don't know about cilantro cookies, man, I feel sorry for you because that is a special cookie right there. Maybe we'll make an episode with those in it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Cilantro cookies, be on the lookout. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Loremaster from Scale and Feathers.
Food.
5-star
Homemade food.
Asian spice, crusted pork, deliciousness, orange cookies.
Yeah, it was a
Love you.
thing that happened.
Have a good night, everybody. See you on the next Mead review. Maybe it'll have food in it. Maybe it won't.